Thank you so much for coming to Illinois Association for College Admission Counseling Virtual College Fair. This event is set up for you to kind of find out some great information about different colleges or from around the country. Remember that the Q&A button is where you're going to put in any questions that you want to have for our presenters this evening at any point. Remember, your camera microphone is off, so the only way to communicate with us will be through the Q&A button. There are more sessions for this evening, so please sign up for those if you want to as well. And the recording of the session will be available at the end of this event in about a week as well at strivescan.com/Illinois. So other than that, that's the beginning of everything, a little housekeeping that we have. But now I'm going to turn it over to the college representatives and you all can go. Thank you so much for coming.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Evan Beals. I'm one of the admissions counselors here at the University of New Hampshire. I'm going to just quickly get started here and jump right into location. It's one thing that really stands out for us here at the University of New Hampshire. We're located in the seacoast region of our state. So we're only about 10 minutes away from the ocean. We are about 45 minutes from the White Mountains of New Hampshire. And the cities of Boston, Massachusetts and Portland, Maine are only about an hour away. We do have an Amtrak train service that stops right here on our campus to get you to and from these larger cities with pretty great ease of access. There's 6 round trips every day in and out of Boston and north to Portland, Maine. So a lot of our students, as you can see in some of those photographs on the side there, many of our students find time to kind of just go down to the city for some leisure activity, hanging out and exploring around historic Boston or Portland, Maine. But a lot of students find that those cities are great opportunities for them for jobs or internships as you move into junior or senior year as well. You can also see some really great photographs of our access to the ocean and the mountains. So it really informs a lot of our academic programs, but also opens up the mountains for hiking, skiing, snowboarding. Surfing in the winter down in the Atlantic Ocean is always a fun activity as well. So some really great access that our home here in New England provides for us. Our students come from about 48 different states and 70 or more countries around the world. We're a medium-sized institution, so we have about 13,000 undergraduate students and 2,500 graduate students. This imbalance is really important to us. We really believe in the undergraduate education here at UNH and the experience that you have at your fingertips to get some really great hands-on research opportunities, as well as some great internships and really great relationships with your professors, the staff that's here at UNH, and all of your colleagues and those other students that are here on campus as well. Coming from out of state, you're in really great company. About 54% of our students hail from outside of New Hampshire. So being a medium-sized institution in our area, it's always really important to recognize that while we are a public flagship school here in New Hampshire and New England, the majority of our students come from out of state. So those of you that are coming from the Midwest or Illinois specifically, you're definitely in good company. We have over 150 different majors and programs spread out over 5 college divisions, and we only have a short amount of time with you tonight or during watching the session later. So as you can see on the screen here, there's 5 college divisions that our majors are spread out across: the College of Liberal Arts, the College of Life Science and Agriculture, the College of Health and Human Services, Engineering and Physical Sciences, and the Paul College of Business and Economics. Many of them are very self-explanatory. Really, what we use this slide to talk about is just to show you that we really do have everything from A to Z and any opportunities that you're looking for academically. Everything from anthropology and animal sciences to zoology. As tacky and corny as that sounds, really anything that you're looking for to take care of your academic interests, UNH can really take hold there. I mentioned some opportunities in research, and I'll use just this next minute or so to focus in on that piece. UNH is a land, sea, and space grant status institution, one of only 20 university systems in the country to offer all 3 of these grant statuses. We're also a Research 1 or Tier 1 research institution, one of only 43 that does not have a medical school. So this really focuses in and showcases the idea that our undergraduate students really drive the research function of the university. And it allows our students to know that starting in their freshman and sophomore year, it's not unheard of. And frankly, it's common for our students to be in the lab doing the work. And by their senior year, by the time you are a senior, many of them are either presenting on a national stage or being published in their research as you move forward. UNH is a very residential community. Classic New England college town is really how we're described. About 96% of our first year students live on campus, and you are guaranteed housing for all 4 years. Even if you don't want to live in housing freshman year, that's okay. We have Division I athletic programs, many student-led organizations, and again, just this small town New England community with a large research type feel. On the screen here is just a quick overview of our application process. We have an early action and a regular decision deadline, so no binding decisions here at UNH. And as you'll see in the application components, we do not require SAT or ACT scores. And quite frankly, we don't use them in the admissions process. And it's been our policy and procedure for quite some time now. We'll mostly focus on your common application and your transcript to evaluate both the social and academic fit as you move into the University of New Hampshire. I'm going to wrap up here. Feel free to take a screenshot or a quick pic of this slide so that you have my contact information. For those of us on the call tonight, I'll also put it in the chat for you. But please feel free to reach out at any time. And hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your evening. Some great schools with us tonight as well. So thank you.
Hey, you guys, good evening. I'm Shannon Wang with SUNY Cortland. Let me just share my screen here for you. 1 second. Let me make sure this is the right one. Here we go. So yes, if for some reason somebody can't see this, if you guys can let me know, that would be great. So again, I'm Shannon Wang with SUNY Cortland. I work with every student in the state of Illinois. I'm a regional recruiter. SUNY stands for State University of New York. So SUNY is the largest university system the largest comprehensive university system that the nation has. This is my information right here. I'll have it again at the end if you want to go ahead and screenshot that. Just like Evan started out with, I want to start out with location. So we're in upstate New York, a little bit more in the southern tier. We're about 30 minutes south of Syracuse, where you might find Syracuse University. We've got the big airport there, the international airport. There's a train station. We have bus stations that will take students to different cities as well. We're about 40 minutes north of Binghamton, which is where you would have SUNY Binghamton. They are a university center, so you can go through your PhD there. We are a university college, so we do bachelor's and master's degrees. We're located about 20 minutes east of Ithaca. So in Ithaca, we have Ithaca College, which is our biggest rival for athletics. We are NCAA Division III athletics team. We are extremely competitive. We rank in the top 25 in the Directors Cup every single year. We have one of the best D3 athletic teams in the nation. And then we also have Cornell, which is located in Ithaca. We send a lot of vet students there when they're done at SUNY Cortland. We also have some various co-op programs with Cornell, including stuff for agriculture. We have students from 34 states and 47 countries. We have a few regional recruiters so that we can help students in New York State that are getting that public education, maybe feel like they went somewhere else by bringing students like you into SUNY Cortland. And then we also have a dedicated international advisor. We have just under 7,000 total students at SUNY Cortland. About 6,400 of those are undergraduate students. You do have to declare a major as a transfer student. That's why you can see the numbers are a little bit smaller. We do have a solid class every August of all the students that we accept. So we usually, traditionally in a regular year, we have about 13,000 applicants. We accept a little less than half of those students, and you can apply via the SUNY application or the Common application. For you guys, I'd probably recommend the Common app. And then we have about 1,200 freshmen that say Cortland's where they want their home to be for the next 4 years. And those guys usually start in August every year. Average class size is going to be about 23 students, which is really nice. Maybe if you're in education, you may have a little bit more. If you're in archaeology, you may have a little bit less. But every class is taught by an actual professor. So I think that when you're doing these visits or virtual programs, that's something that you should look for or a question that you should ask. These are the different majors that we have. We have 3 different schools of study on campus. We are best known for education. So we do have the largest education program in the state as far as everything that we offer. Those are listed on the right-hand side of the screen. We have a really niche musical theater program. It does require an audition, but if you are admissible to the campus academically, then we will admit you whether you pass your audition or not. You don't have to be a musical theater major in order to audition for the shows on campus. Sport management is really big. We have sports studies. We've got business economics. We just got a grant last year to be a training ground for other teaching faculty in New York State. We have a GIS program. We just started a minor in entrepreneurship. We have healthcare management, which is new. So a lot of different things. If you have a specific interest, just reach out and ask. As far as requirements for admission, we are looking for students to have 4 years of English and history, 3 years of math, science, and foreign language. We understand that you guys are not New York State students, so you aren't taking a Regents curriculum. So as long as you satisfy your graduation requirements for your particular high school, that works for us. For this past year, we were test optional for fall 21. We're still waiting to hear from SUNY administration to figure out whether or not we're going to continue to be test optional for fall 2022 and moving forward. So you can probably find that on our website, or you could reach out. Traditionally, we're looking for a solid B student. This is just a glimpse of residence life on campus. So we have 17 different residence halls on campus. You do have to live on campus your first 2 years as a freshman student, your first year as a transfer student. About half of our student population does live on campus. We've got low rise, high rise, suite style, quad style, apartment style. This past year, because of the pandemic, we did not have any triples. We did actually, we have a facility in town that we've been using as a residence hall, and it's patrolled by campus UPD. So we have a legitimate university police department. We've got RAs and all of those things in those buildings. This is our brand new Student Life Center. This opened a couple years back. This is where we hold our open house programs when we're able to have a large amount of visitors to campus. There's about 2,500 people that use this every day. We have an all-you-care-to-eat dining facility in here, and then we've got anything that you would find in probably like your state-of-the-art gym membership. We have trainers for students. We've got nutritionists. We have outdoor pursuits, which is in the back of this building, and you can rent out any kind of equipment you want, whether you want to go kayaking, canoeing, snowboarding, skiing, whatever. A lot of different trips. And then it's important to note that for students who are varsity athletes, we do have a separate workout facility in our park center, which is a little bit closer to our football stadium, which is behind this building. Just want to make sure I'm doing okay on time. This is a glimpse into our all-you-care-to-eat dining facilities. This is where you would swipe in. You can eat as much as you want. You can swipe in as many times a day as you want. You just can't take anything out with you. And then we have a bunch of grab-and-go facilities. We also have over 25 restaurants in town where you can use a portion of your meal plan. We have several different coffee spots on campus. Union Station is probably the biggest. And then we also have a food truck, which is new last year. Here's expenses, you guys. So for someone who's not a New York State resident, we have what we call the Future New Yorker Awards. That's $7,500 off of your tuition every year automatically just for maintaining non-New York State residency. So for non-New York State residents like yourselves, the tuition is going to be just under $17,000 for the year. So that's just to take classes, your college fees. That's, you know, every school is going to have fees. And then our room and board is the same, whether you're in state or out of state. And that's just over $12,000. So that total billed cost for the whole year without any financial aid or any kind of merit scholarships is going to be just under $24,000 for the whole year to eat on campus, live on campus, and to take classes. Really great affordable education at a small to medium-sized public university in New York State. Again, here's my information. I'm Shannon. I'm really happy to work with you. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. Have a great night, you guys.
All right, welcome to UConn, everybody. My name is Maddie, and I'm an admissions representative at UConn and also a recent UConn alum. So a little bit about our campus. We were founded in 1881 as an agriculture school. Now, over 130 years later, you can still see our agriculture roots on campus, but we've grown to be so much more than that. Our main campus is Storrs. It's located in the upper northeast quadrant of Connecticut. It's about 90 minutes from Boston, 2.5 hours from New York City. We do have about 19,000 undergrads on our main Storrs campus, but we do have several other campuses throughout the state of Connecticut. And in our entire UConn system, there's about 24,000 undergraduate students. When it comes to academics, we offer over 115 majors and over 320 minors across 10 different schools and colleges. And no worries if that sounds a little overwhelming. About a quarter of our incoming first-year students are undecided, so they'll be admitted into our ACES, or Academic Center for Exploratory Students program, where they meet with various advisors who help them figure out what they want to study. We also have a 16-to-1 student to faculty ratio, and the average class size is about 28 to 32. But of course, that can vary. In some of your general education classes, you might be in a large lecture with 100 students. But once you get further into your major, the class sizes will go down a lot. I myself have been in a class with 6 people. So it definitely does vary, but all of our faculty are very accessible to students. Now, talking about some of the fun things that UConn has to offer on campus, we are pretty well known for our men's and women's basketball teams, and we do have 24 Division I athletic teams with 23 national championships across the board, and all students do get free tickets to all athletic games, which is pretty cool. We offer over 700 student clubs and organizations that can range from Greek life to pre-professional societies to your more fun clubs like the Math Club, the Moon Watching Club, the Cannoli Club. We literally have it all. And then UConn is very dedicated to diversity and inclusion on campus, which can be seen through our 5 cultural centers. So now switching gears to talk a little bit about the application process. When it comes to deadlines, we do not have early action or early decision, but we do offer a priority deadline of December 1st, and that's for priority consideration for merit scholarships and the honors program. There's no separate application for merit scholarships or the honors program. Every student will be automatically considered. And then that December 1st deadline is also for our special programs in law, medicine, dental medicine, and education. They are basically an assurance program. So if you know you definitely want to go to med school and you're accepted into our special program in medicine, you are assured that you have a spot in UConn School of Medicine after your time as an undergrad. Now, if you're not ready to submit your application by December 1st, that is a-okay. Our regular on-time Storrs deadline is January 15th. So as long as you submit all of your materials by January 15th, you'll hear back from us on March 1st. And then if you're interested in applying to one of our regional campuses, the deadline to do that is May 1st. And then once you're actually ready to submit your application, you can find us on the Common app and the Coalition app. We don't have a preference. And then we do require official transcripts and a personal essay. We strongly encourage you to submit 2 letters of recommendation, though they are optional. And then we are also test optional. We will be test optional for the next 2 years. And when we say test optional, we really mean optional. You will not be at a disadvantage if you choose not to submit those test scores. And that's because we evaluate your applications in a holistic way. So not only are we looking at your GPA and what classes you took, but we're also looking at your involvement outside of the classroom, any leadership opportunities that you've had, and so much more. So it's okay if you don't submit those test scores because we have other things to evaluate you off of. And then just some contact info and ways to stay in touch with UConn. We are currently offering in-person tours to admitted students. So those students who were admitted this past spring, they are able to come on campus, which is really promising for prospective students. We're hoping that this summer we can open up campus to have prospective students. But in the meantime, you can connect with us virtually through our virtual experiences page. You can take a virtual tour of campus, chat one-on-one with an admissions representative, and also chat one-on-one with a current UConn student. So thank you, and I hope to see your application soon.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tamara, and I am with Hofstra University over in Long Island, New York. There we go. We are located just 25 miles outside of New York City, so there are a lot of great resources for our students happening both on Long Island and also New York City, and we'll get into that in just a little bit. But you are getting the best of both worlds here. You are getting the best of a campus life with beautiful spring tulips, an homage to our Dutch heritage, as well as New York City. And a lot of our students are taking the opportunities over in New York City for internships, jobs, networking, fun on the weekends, because we are so close. So we have just over 6,000 undergrads, 165 different academic majors. The average class size is about 20-to-1, with student to faculty ratio being 13-to-1. Your largest lecture hall class will seat no more than 60. So you're never going to be 1 in 60 in a class. And of course, as you go through your academic career at Hofstra, your classes will get smaller and smaller. One time I had a class of 9 students, which was pretty cool. This is a list of all of our academic majors. Know when you apply to Hofstra, you're applying to all of these programs. You're applying to Hofstra generally. You do not need to declare a major to the end of your sophomore year, and you can apply as undecided and later claim a major. Start with a major and change it, add a major, drop a minor, add a minor, do what your heart pleases, because you are applying to the university as a whole and then claiming a major later on. We are Division I. We have 21 Division I sports. Basketball is our largest. Housing is guaranteed all 4 years, but it is not a requirement to live on campus with us. Even your freshman year, not a requirement, but there's always a spot available for you on campus. We have just about 200 different clubs and organizations, and our students are completing a ton of community service hours. Our students are very active, very involved. There are a lot of student leaders on our campus. Like I said, our proximity to New York City, most of our students are completing at least one internship. You can see 71%. Sometimes that number is higher depending on your academic interest. So students in the School of Business and Communication typically have 3 or 4 if they can manage it. This is just a small list of where our students are interning. They are really taking the opportunities over in New York City to apply what they're learning in the classroom to that hands-on experience. We are an early action school. Early action is not binding, but apply by November 15th. You'll have an admission decision on December 15th. Too soon? No problem. Early action Tuesday, December 15th, with the decisions going out around January 15th. After that is rolling admission. There's no preferential treatment for students applying earlier than later because everyone is reviewed on a holistic review basis, and you're automatically reviewed for scholarship no matter when you apply. Scholarship is merit-based, which means your test score and GPA, or just your GPA for test optional students, will determine your scholarship. And we have been test optional for a number of years. So we've recognized that students have strengths and weaknesses, and we should celebrate and highlight their wins and successes. And so test scores are not required for admission or scholarship. This is not new because of the pandemic. It is not changing anytime soon. But we do know that students like to have some sort of average of where they might fall. So the average GPA at Hofstra is about a 3.7, SAT is about a 1220, and ACT is a 27. Again, those are averages. What's next? We are open for visitors. We've been open for visitors since September. So if you want to make a summer trip out to Hofstra, just register on our visiting website, and hopefully we'll see you.
Hello, everybody. I'm just going to share my screen here as I share a little bit about what makes Catholic University unique. So hopefully you can see that screen. So Catholic University, located in Washington, D.C., a fantastic location for undergraduate students. We are just 3 miles north of the Capitol. We have a metro stop right on the corner of our campus. So it's very easy to get anywhere you want in DC. We're 3 stops from the Capitol, we're 6 stops from the White House and monuments. So with so much going on in DC, such a dynamic, diverse city, so much that's offered for free as well. It's a really great location because it's kind of the best of both worlds. You'll also have your own true residential campus, the largest, greenest campus in Washington, DC, and you'll be able to do a little bit of both as you go through your 4 years at the university. A little bit about what is offered, and then in terms of who's also going to be joining you on campus. So about 3,300 undergraduate students, about 2,600 students in the graduate law program, for just under 6,000 students total between grad and undergrad. Being the Catholic University of America, we have about 80% of our students who are Catholic, but a very diverse community from all over the country, all over the world as well. Something that makes us very unique is the fact that while being a smaller school, about 3,300 undergraduates, we do have 9 undergraduate schools. So some things that are unique: a School of Architecture, a School of Nursing, a School of Engineering, programs where you're going to be able to take all 4 years at Catholic University and get that undergraduate degree. Almost 80 undergraduate programs to choose from, very small classes, 7-to-1 student faculty ratio, an average class size under 20, and then pre-professional advising as well for pre-law and pre-health programs. Another thing that's unique is our joining of our career and internship advising along with our academic advising right from day one. So you're going to have a dedicated advisor who works with you on the academic side, as well as the career and internship side from the time you start orientation. So this is really fantastic for helping you find research opportunities, find internship opportunities, whether they're in Washington, D.C. or close to home over the summer. We have over 60% of our students will participate in at least 2 internships, and 90% of our students have at least 1 internship while they're a student at Catholic. And there are 3,000 internship opportunities to choose from while you are a student here. In terms of kind of getting off campus, but not just in Washington, D.C., but outside the U.S. as well, a lot of education abroad opportunities. So 115 different colleges and universities who we work with in 37 different countries. This is open to all majors. You know, some programs such as nursing have very specific programs where students will go. They'll go to Sydney, Australia, Dublin, Ireland, and they'll go to Rome, Italy. So pretty good options there. Almost every other program of that 115 is open to any major. So students can go for the semester, they can go for the year, or they can do something over the summer as well. And we do have our own campus in Rome, Italy. So this is our flagship program, our most popular program. And about 40% of our students will study abroad overall. What happens on campus? Over 100 clubs and organizations that you can choose from that really run the gamut. There's more than 40 events taking place on campus every week. So the balance between what you get on campus and what you do off campus with your friends is a really nice option for our students. Campus ministry is one of our largest organizations where we can really get involved in the city and the community. And there's a real sense of service overall for our students as well. We have a great athletic tradition, 25 Division III varsity sports, and actually 30% of our students are varsity athletes. So we have 10 club sports in addition to that, 16 intramural leagues, and 2 fitness centers on campus. So whether you want to play or you want to cheer on your friends, you know, the folks who are going to be playing our varsity athletics are going to be the same people who live in your residence hall, who are your friends, your roommates, and your classmates as well. A little bit about our application process. So obviously, August 1, the Common Application opens up, and we have a November 1st deadline for both Early Action and Early Decision 1. For both of those, we'll let students know before January 1st about a decision, and the decision really does come typically in the middle of December. Along with any admission, for those students, they'll also get their merit scholarships at the same time. We have January 15th deadline for Early Decision 2 and Regular Decision, and you'll typically hear a couple of months later in March 15th. And again, for any students who are admitted, you will get your merit scholarship at the same time. Enrollment deadline of May 1st. If you have any friends who are seniors right now, you know they're in the last couple of weeks of making that major decision. So you'll be there next year. And I think, you know, the big thing is to keep an eye on all those deadlines for all the different schools you're thinking about, because it can be a little bit different everywhere. What do we look for in the application review? For us, the transcript and what you do both, you know, inside the classroom and outside the classroom are equally important. You know, we're looking to build a class that is, you know, really unique, really talented, really diverse. You know, we are test blind in the admission process. So we just finished our first test blind year, and we have committed to 3 more years of test blind after this. For the previous 5 years, we were test optional. So that focus will be really what you do in the classroom in terms of grades, but then also the types of classes that you're taking as well. And then recommendations, common application essay, and a Catholic University optional statement as well. You know, we're looking for that progression throughout high school. We know you can start a little bit slowly. A big piece of a big question that we often get, the personal interview. Those are truly completely optional, completely up to you if you would like to come in. Say if you're visiting campus and you want to meet with one of our staff members, you're certainly welcome to schedule that. And we also do not charge a fee for the application. A little bit about our merit awards. Catholic University merit scholarships range from $17,000 to $30,000 a year. We also have 5 archdiocesan scholarships which cover full tuition. So those are really, given to our most competitive, our top-notch students, 5 students coming in every year. Parish scholarship of $4,000 a year for any student who's involved in their local parish, and a legacy grant for any students who have had a sibling, parent, or grandparent graduate from Catholic University. So that is, kind of a abridged version of Catholic University. I'll put my information in the chat, so if you have any questions, you can certainly let me know. Thank you.
Okay, here we go. My name is Gabby. I am an admissions counselor from Duquesne, that's how you pronounce it, Duquesne University in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. We were founded early on in the late 1800s by the Puritan priests. The concept of Duquesne came about because back in those times, we had many immigrants coming over from Europe, and there was a lot of conversation going on saying, hey, we're kind of lacking educational resources for our children. So a group of about 5 or 6 Puritan priests started a school of about 50 students. They rented a classroom upstairs from a bakery in downtown Pittsburgh, and Duquesne was born. Because of our founding, we are a Catholic university. About 50% of our students self-report themselves as being Catholic, with the other half being all types of faith or no faith at all. We only have one requirement when it comes to attending Duquesne with being Catholic, and that is taking one theology class throughout your 4 years here at Duquesne. We have grown exponentially since then, geographically and population-wise. We are considered a medium-sized school with total enrollment of almost 10,000 students, 9,500 to be exact, with 6,000 of that being undergraduate students. The majority of our student body are students that you will be soon in a year or two, prospective students earning a bachelor's degree. Because our medium-sized, we still have a great pride in our small student to teacher ratio of about 14:1, with the average class size being about 28. We are a liberal arts college. So what that means is we require general education classes on top of your major classes. And your general education classes typically tend to be larger since all students have to fulfill that to graduate. But it also depends on your major, how popular it is. Our music school is a very small student to teacher ratio of about 4:1. So you really get the one-on-one attention from that as well. We kind of like to call it the Goldilocks effect. It's not too big, it's not too small, it's just right. So you get the advantages of a larger institution with getting all types of opportunities with research and with your academics and beyond, but also getting one-on-one attention from your professors. We are in the heart of downtown Pittsburgh. You would never know, though. We really, we're located on a cliff overlooking the city. You do get the best of both worlds. I know that's been mentioned a few times tonight. We are in a park-like campus because we are located on a cliff. You really don't get hustle bustle with traffic, no cars honking, no buses, none of that crazy chaos stuff. But if you like that thing, it's about a 5 to 10 minute walk to downtown Pittsburgh, home to lots of different types of restaurants, cultural district with the Pittsburgh Symphony Orchestra, the Benham Center, stage shows, museums, the list goes on and on and on. Lots of shopping, coffee shops, and just a lot of places to do for young people in the area. We have bike trails within walking distance, kayaking. It really just kind of goes on. Also the convenience factor. Students like to walk downtown for their internship sites, maybe they have clinical sites. Pittsburgh is a very big healthcare city. We have something called UPMC. It stands for University of Pittsburgh Medical Center. It's one of the largest in the world. People travel from all over to the Pittsburgh area for medical care. And just really quickly, I'm not going over all of this, but kind of points of distinction within our schools, high pass rates for all of our required majors that require it. Pharmacy, LSAT, NCLEX for nursing, the NAPLEX for pharmacy. We also have 68 Steinway pianos. We're opening up a medical school in the fall of 2024. We'll be the first college of osteopathic medicine, the first Catholic medical school in Pennsylvania. So that's something we're really excited about as well. We have over 250 student organizations from all over the spectrum. We are a Division I school, so club sports are very popular. Students don't feel they still get their sport without the added pressure of D1. All different types. We have fraternities, sororities, academic fraternities and sororities, academic clubs. We have American Marketing Association. They go to New York City every year to compete in advertising contests. Political groups. We have a squirrel watching club, mock trial, Habitat for Humanity. The list really goes on and on and on. And it's a great way for you to meet other students outside of your major. And you obviously have similar tastes and interests. So it's a great way to meet new people. Career preparation starts year one, day one. This isn't something you wait until your senior year and you're like, oh, I'm graduating, I guess I should put a resume together. No, we make sure that's taken care of early on. We host workshops and presentations on resume writing, cover letter writing, editing services. We have mock interview rooms where you have a pretend interview and at the end they tell you what you need to work on or what your strengths are, even down to what to wear. We have a professional closet of clothing that have been pre-approved by our staff to be deemed appropriate for interviews. We host job and internship fairs on campus every year, twice a year, in all different types of sectors. Students come with resumes in hand, dressed in tow, ready to nab that interview. We are a rolling admission application process. We are a Common App school. We require the transcript, letter of recommendation, test scores, and essay. And the only deadline we have is December 1st, and that's for our physician assistant students. Everything else is rolling admission. We require at least a 3.0 GPA, 1080 SAT, 21 ACT composite for minimum for general admission, health sciences, physician assistant, PT, OT, speech language pathology, 3.5 GPA, 1170 SAT, 24 ACT composite. We are test optional as well. And if you have your test scores, those submit them, that's great. And we are also hosting visits on campus in person. We're showing our residence halls all throughout the summer. So please make sure you come and check us out and see what we have to offer. And thank you for listening.
All right, that was some great information that you all shared. Thank you so much for that as well. To wrap up this evening, we want to give everyone a little seed of knowledge before we let you go. So for our reps, if you could just give some advice, what would you tell someone to help them through the college search process?
Hey everyone, I always like to live by the phrase that college and this whole process is really about the match to be made. And not the prize to be won. You'll have so many people kind of providing their input and their thought process into your process. So just make sure that you do trust that kind of gut feeling as you go through the process. You heard from so many of us that are from so many different types of schools tonight, and there's over 4,000 of them across the US alone. So you're in for quite a ride, but just know that there's so many people here to help you through it. And again, it's really about finding that really great fit and the match for you. So
I just want to echo a little bit what Evan said. I think it is about that gut feeling and the match. Obviously, when you're researching schools, you want to make sure that they have a handful of things that you're looking for, maybe a couple different majors, a few different extracurricular activities. But I think visiting is really important. We just started really ramping up our in-person visits for accepted students, but I think that because I've always worked with students who are not from New York State and pretty far away, it takes a long time to get there. But if you can make a visit to campus, I think that students generally know, yeah, this is it. Even if, everything isn't perfection at the time, or this is totally not it, get me out of here. I don't ever want to come back. So like everybody does have an opinion, but if you're able to visit and work with people and you get that feeling, I think if you go with it, everything else will just fall into place.
I would say that my biggest piece of advice is to try and attend as many of these virtual fairs that you can. I feel like back when I was applying to college, it was all in person. And so I didn't necessarily learn about some schools that now looking back, I may have been interested in, simply because you have to talk to someone in person and sometimes you don't know what to ask, what to say. But the great thing about about everything being virtual now is you have the opportunity to visit more schools and learn about more schools that you might not have learned about otherwise. So take advantage of everything being virtual.
My piece of advice to you would be that there is no dumb question, and you have to keep asking questions. What's the best thing to eat on campus? What's the worst thing about this school? What's the best thing about the school? Can I come visit? Can I sit in on a class? Can I talk to a student or a professor? All of that is going to give you the best vibe and the best picture, as well as your gut feeling and visiting campus. But know that there is no dumb question. No question is too small, and keep asking those questions until you find the right fit.
And my advice is to start early when you can. I think in a couple of ways, start hopping online, start talking with your counselor, start talking with maybe some family members who have attended school and gone through the search recently, and start working on some college essays early. The Common App releases all of the common essay topics, the spring before you're going to be applying. Do a little work on those over the summer before your senior year, because it's going to make everything, once you get into the school year, that much easier. And senior year tends to be your busiest year just because you're taking your toughest classes, you're the most involved, and you have a college search on top of everything. So if you can start early, you'll put yourself in good shape.
If you feel completely clueless on what type of school you're interested in, do a little bit of everything. Nothing wrong with checking out a large school, small school, urban, rural, really kind of all over the map. You might be pleasantly surprised when you visit and fall in love with something, or the opposite. Oh my gosh, I thought I'd love this, but I absolutely hate it. And also, this is kind of a little tidbit, to make an email address specifically for colleges. Maybe you put your first name, first initial, last name, and then college@gmail.com. We inundate you with communication. If you haven't noticed that yet, you will. And it's very easy to lose this communication amongst dozens and dozens of other emails.
All right, thank you so much for the great advice. Thank you all so much for coming this evening as well. Remember, there's going to be a quick survey when you finish up and leave this window. Also, don't forget there's one more session going on this evening as well. And remember, there's a recording of this session available at strivescan.com. Reps, thank you so much for hanging out with us this evening. Appreciate it. Thanks so much for coming as well. You all have a wonderful evening.